Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we're getting into how I use iMovie to edit all my videos. So I'm not going to go over the real basic things. If you want the real basics and you've got a complete beginner idea about how to use iMovie, then let me know if this basically doesn't make any sense to you, and I'll go back right to the start on how to set up iMovie. But I'm starting this off imagining you know how to put a video into iMovie, and then to go from there, and I'm basically going to show you how I go through and edit a video. When you have got your video in iMovie, it looks like this, and you've got your clip at the bottom there, which this is 14 and a bit minutes long in total, so it's quite a long one. You can see it's me recording a video where I was playing a bit of Football Manager, which is one of the games I quite enjoy playing, and we're going to go through it and I'm going to show you quickly how I edit that. Now, I'm not going to do the whole 15 minutes with you, we're just going to show you how I do little bits and pieces and the shortcuts that I use, that kind of thing. So first off, obviously this clip is really small. That's because over here you can see we are zoomed all the way out. So as you go along, it zooms in each time and all the way up to that is the maximum level of zoom. Now this bar on the bottom shows what is on the screen, and it also shows, if I click off it again, you can see the different sound levels. So that blue bar is a sound, it is attached to it. You can detach it, though I very rarely do that. But you can change the sound level up and down by clicking and dragging on that line there. So I can go all up to 400% all the way down to 0% to mute it, or you can keep it at a level 100%. So I'm going to undo that, which I'm going to do by pressing Ctrl and Z, and you can see there it is straight back to 100% again. So we are on 100%, and the sound level really helps because, for instance, I know at the start when I first hit start recording, there's always a little pause before I actually start talking, and I can see that I start talking there. So I'm going to chop that bit and get rid of that first bit. Now I chop, you press Command and B, and then it chops straight down the middle where my cursor was, so I can get rid of that bit just by pressing backspace. So straight away we've got rid of the first little bit of no talking, and then we're going to continue on and see what happens next. So I'm going to listen to the next few bits of video, and then I'll come back to you when I next have to do something else. So straight away, the first thing I'm going to do is I've still got it on max zoom, and actually that is flying across the screen far too quickly. So I'm going to take it out to around about there while I'm watching it, just so I can go along and follow it a bit more closely. So first things first, I can see that I've got this pause. Now that pause is shown up by the gap in there, and I can hear while I'm talking. There's a bit of a pause, and there's nothing wrong with the pause, but when I edit the videos, I quite like getting rid of just the random pauses just to keep the video flowing a bit better. So I'm going to Control B either side, or Command B, sorry, either side of those pauses, and I'm going to backspace while it's selected, and then this is the end result. If you want to go have a look back, so again, you can see here there's a whole bunch of pauses coming up, so I'm going to make sure I kind of chop this bit down and edit it in a way that it all kind of flows and there's no random pauses, especially at the start of the video. Really important to engage people into it. So here we are then, we are in season. So I'm going to get rid of that pause there. Then I say so far too much, so I'm going to get rid of it. So here we are, and just start with here we are because I think it sounds better. Here we are then, we are in, and then I've got a great bit of pause there, but I had a little cough, so I'm going to get rid of that cough because nobody wants to hear that. And let's play the whole thing. Last time. Here we are then, we are in season 2. We have gone all the way to the 29th of May this time because the season finished slightly later, so we couldn't do it exactly to the 23rd of May. Little stutter again, there's nothing wrong with it, but when I've got the time, I do just like to get rid of them. To the 23rd of May. Exactly. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to make sure I can get that exactly right because it's a bit tricky. Couldn't do exactly to the 20. I think it's there. Let's play that. Exactly to the 23rd of May. There you go. If you want to know why the 23rd of May is important, go watch yesterday's video. But we're on 29th of May 2023, and we're going to... So that pause I'm going to keep in because it's a little bit like a dramatic effect. It works quite well, so I'll leave that one there. We're going to see how we have done in season 2. So we made our dream team. We gave them to Aston Villa just because we thought, you know what, they are kind of an average team, and they've not won the league this season. Okay, so last year, if you haven't watched it, we did manage to win the league. We absolutely smashed it. Let's go see how we have done. So if we go to... So I'm going to chop it here because I know when I was filming this, I kind of lost track of what I was doing, and I took a little while there. You can see that big long gap there to find what I wanted. So when I finished off by saying about let's go see something. How we have done. Oh yeah, we're going to go see how we've done. And I think this bit is where I actually have a look at that. So if we have a look. Yeah, so this is where we actually start having a look. So I'm going to get rid of that long pause while I was kind of working out what buttons to press. Okay, and that's why I'm going to pause that there. Chop that little bit off. So that's the first minute. Now obviously I have got another 40 minutes to go, but I'm not going to do all that right now with you guys. I'm going to do most of that myself in a minute, but I'm just going to show you for these bits what I do with these little clips. So to start us off with, obviously we've got that little bit of me talking. Now there's not a lot I'm going to do with that. I might have a little look at zooming into my face, but I think it normally ends up being a little bit blurry, so I'm going to leave that there. However, I am going to do a little bit of zooming over here. So when we first go into this screen where you can see on here, we've got the league table and how Chelsea were top, Villa were second. So I want to zoom in and show that on full screen on the camera. So I'm going to go find the bit I want and I'll show you how I do that. So as soon as it goes to the Premier League table and you can see it, that's the bit I want to zoom in for just a couple of seconds.
They've not won the league this season.
So I've chopped either side of those. It's 2.8 seconds long, so it's not very long at all. But I want, for those 2.8 seconds, I want this screen to be zoomed all the way in to just show the top little bit of the table. So to do that, I'm going to crop the screen. I'm going to change that from fit, which means it fits the whole thing in, to crop to fill. Now that gives us this box, and I can basically put this box wherever I want, and that is all that will show across the entire screen is what is inside this box. So I'm going to fit this box nice and neatly around the league table there. It's going to show the top is at the first 6 or 7 positions, something like that, and then click off crop so it can play nice and easily, and then we're going to play it again and we'll see what it looks like.
Team, and they've not won the league this season.
So you can see there, it straight away pulls the viewer's attention straight into just what I want them to see on that little bit of league table, and then it'll zoom back out again on the next clip back to the full screen where I can then pick what I want them to look at next. So for this bit, I would quite like to go back and find if I've got a little bit of footage from that previous video, or if not, I'll go get a bit from the YouTube video and crop a little section of it, because I'd quite like to have like an overlay showing what I've done. So I'm just going to go find some of that, or find a picture to use as an example, and then I'll show you how I do that. So here you go, I found the footage now, and the footage is actually 7 minutes long, but I want something that's right at the start. So I'm going to click and drag, I'm going to pop this on top, okay, and I'm going to line it up where I can see, hopefully, that we're going to have a bit of league table on the screen just at the same point where that line is now, which I think will be about there. Let's see if that works.
They have. Okay,
so I want to turn that sound off because you can see both soundtracks playing on. And then while we are trying to sort this out, I'm going to change this one up there because I don't want it to take up the whole screen. I want this to be a picture-in-picture, which means we'll have both screens in one. And I'm also going to crop it, and I'm going to crop to fill, again, just that little bit of league table that we were showing just now, so we can show that we actually did win the league last season. So if I come off that, then let's see how that looks. So we can see it's up there now, so now I just need to get rid of the rest of it and crop all that bit out, delete that bit, crop the bit out after, delete that bit too. We literally only want this tiny little section, and I'm going to make it nice and big in my picture-in-picture tool. Click and drag it so it's going to fill the screen, so I can just show that actually last season we did actually win the league.
We gave it to Aston Villa just because we thought, you know what, they are kind of an average team, and they've not won the league this season. Okay, so last year, if you haven't watched it, we did manage to win the league. We absolutely smashed it. Let's go see how we have done. So if we have a look at the table in a bit.
And then it goes onto this screen. We're looking at this season. We're going into a bit more detail about this season. So that's how to use the cutaway tool. And hopefully this has helped you have a little bit of idea about how we actually edit YouTube videos and how to use Imovie a little bit more. Now there's a lot more tools you can go into. There's a lot more like crop tools. There's sound, fast forward, picture-in-picture, cutaway, green screen, all that kind of thing. Audio, you can see up here, audio, titles, background transitions. If you want to have a look at all of this, let me know in the comments down below if you want a little bit more. But hopefully it's been a little bit of a help to see how you can actually edit videos, and also it will help you in the future with doing your own edits on iMovie. So thank you very much for watching this. Hopefully you found it useful, and do let me know if you want any more content like this with editing videos. And as always, I'll see you very soon.